Assalamu alaikum and you're welcome to this tutorial. So we'll be learning how to cut this mini baby hijab. So if this is what you like to learn, let's go straight to the video. So this is the material that I'll be using for this tutorial. You can use a yard of material, but the one I'm using here is a leftover material. So I'm going to fold it into two as I've done so in the video. So I have the length to be 18 inches, that is the front length, while the back length is 21 inches. The difference is just 3 inches. So you can make yours to be 2 inches, that is the difference, but I want mine to be 3 inches. You can go more than 3, you can go 4, you can go 5. So what I'm going to do now, from the back length that is 21 inches, I'll start reducing by measurement. So here I input 20.5 inches. So I'll go down again. Then here I'm going to input 20 inches. I'm just going down by half inch. So here it will be 19.5. So this place is going to be 19 inches. This one will be 18.5 inches. And remember, we have the front length to be 18 inches. So I'll connect the points together and I'll cut it out. So just follow the shape that you drew and you cut it out. Then I'll notch the center, that is the front part. So this is how it looks like. It's looking like a semicircle. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut the hijab cap. So I folded the hijab cap, the material into 2, and I'll fold it into 4. So I folded it into 2 and I'll fold it again, that is into 4. So for the width of the hijab, I'm going to measure 6.5 inches. That is 6.5 inches. Then for the length, I'm going to measure 4.5 inches. After stitching with half of an inch, I'll have 4 inches left. So I'll connect it with a curve like so, and I'll just cut it out. So this is it, and I'll notch the center. You may be wondering why the cap is big like this, because it's a baby hijab. This is a matter of choice. I like the cap for children to always come down to their chin. There's a beauty it normally gives. So that is why it is like that. So this is the rope I'm going to cut out. We are going to attach it to the cap, so we'll be able to tie it to the back because it's for a baby. So I think the length I used 14 inches for the length, and the width I used 3 inches for the width. So I'm going to cut out 2. And that's all for the cutting aspect. Then for the sewing aspect, the first thing I'm going to do now, the belt that we cut out, I'm going to fold it into 2 and I'll sew it half of an inch. The best material to use to make this type of hijab is a stretchy material. That is, you can use a lycra material and you can use this crepe material that is stretchy. So after I finished sewing the rope, I went ahead to turn it out and I ironed it. And the hijab cap also, I also went ahead to iron it. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'll just stitch on the hijab cap to keep it in place. Like the way I'm doing in the video, just make sure you do it carefully. Then after that, I'll fold the cap into 2 and give it a notch at the center. Then I'll bring in the main hijab. Remember, we already notched it. So I'll place the cap on top of it, right side to right side. And I'll place it notch to notch and I'll sew it half of an inch. So this is where we are going to fix the rope too. So when you are almost at the end part, that is maybe 1.5 inch before the end part, you'll be fixing your rope inward. You can see the way I fixed it inward. Then I'll continue the stitch. Then I'll repeat the same process for the other side as well. Just exactly the same thing. So this is how it is looking on the right side. So I'll finish up the other side and this is it. I'll finish both sides. You can see how beautiful it is looking. This is it. So what I'm going to do now, the remaining part of the hair circumference, we are going to hem it. So this is it. I'll just fold it inward and I'll cover it up with the stitch like the way I'm doing so in the video, and I'll just stitch on top of it. So if I want to stitch, maybe I'll just stitch about maybe 4 to 5 inches. You can just use your eye to gauge it. So you can see what I just finished sewing. You can see it on the outside and this is it on the inside. So I'll repeat the same thing for the other side as well, and I have done both already. So what I'm going to do now, we'll fold our hijab into 2. On the wrong side, from the center, I'll measure 9.5 inches. That is the head circumference. That is the head circumference is 19 inches divided by 2, which gave me 9.5 inches. So from the marked 9.5 inches, I'll just sew all the way to the down, to the end of the length of the hijab. Make sure you backstitch from the beginning to avoid it from ending up losing at the end of the day. So I'll just keep sewing like so with half of an inch. So this is how the hijab looks like. So at this point, we are 90% done with the hijab. This is it on the right side. So at this point, you can go ahead to iron. It is advisable to iron as you sew, so you have a neat work at the end of the day. So at this point, if you don't want to add any pleat to your hijab, you can simply hem the down part of the hijab, or you use a weaving machine to weave it. But I want to add pleat to my own, so I'll cut out the long fabrics. I cut out 2 points. I think I have about 3 inches. Yes, 3 inches on fold. While open, it is 6 inches, so 3 inches on fold. I'll stitch with half of an inch, and I'll have 2.5 inches left. So we are going to stitch it on the right side. So the jab is on facing, the right side is facing me like so. Then I'll place the fabric on top of it. I'll leave about half inch before starting my pleats, because we are still going to join the pleat back. So I'll keep pleating. So this pleat depends on how much fabric you have. If you have excess, you can pleat it tiny, tiny, tiny. But if you are working, like you are managing your fabric, you can do it. You can do big, big pleats, so it's going to be enough. So I have reached the point where I started the pleat from, and this is it. So this is the reason why I said you should leave about half inch before you start pleating. So I'll join it together like so with half of an inch. So this is it. So I'll just finish up the pleats now, and I'll show you the final look. So this is it. I am done with the pleats, and the next thing I'm just going to do now is to cut out any dangling threads. Then I'll go ahead and iron it, give it a good press so it can be looking more beautiful than this. You can see how beautiful it is looking. I haven't ironed it at this point. I'm just showing you the final look. This is it. You can see how beautiful it is looking. So a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4 years, even 5 years old can wear this hijab. So this is it on my head mannequin. So I decided to embellish it with just a flower, this flower. So I used the gum B7000 to embellish it. So I'll be having a paid class coming up in this month, inshallah. In the tutorial, we'll be learning how to cut a jilbab, 6 different types of sleeves of a jilbab. And in the bonus class, we'll be learning how to make an inner cap and a fabric bag, a beautiful fabric bag. So if you'd like to join, send me a DM and I'll add you to the wait list. Thank you so much for watching. So this is the final look of the hijab. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and see you in the class. Bye.